We are just under a week away already from Halloween. Can you believe that? And while it's fun to dress up and get candy and carve pumpkins, there are some things you should keep in mind to prevent any real scares. So joining us here this afternoon is Dr. Denise Miller with the Lee Summit Medical Center. Thank you for stopping by again this year.
My pleasure.
It
Fun
is
time of year.
Busy time of year in your emergency room. Tell me the
is.
most common injuries you see or
You know,
issues.
in kids, unfortunately, Halloween night, we do see a lot more injuries than we normally would.
So
Twice as many injuries as any other time, especially when it comes to kids being hit by cars, things like that.
Is that
But
right?
but the most common, thankfully, is not that. The most common is actually lacerations on the hand, usually from pumpkin carving, and then falls. Injuries to the arms and legs from falling when they're out trick-or-treating.
Okay, so let's talk about cutting that pumpkin, the most
You
common
bet.
one of all. And what are you seeing and how do we avoid it?
Well, a couple things. One is not having adult supervision. So you don't want to let the little ones carve this without some adult supervision.
Clearly.
And in the really little ones, have them use like markers or paint or bedazzle
Glitter
it.
and glue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's safe. But with the ones that do want to carve, you want to use a pumpkin carving kit. And these are getting a little scarce in the city, but actually there are several grocery stores that still have them in stock. We checked today.
We did go looking for one before this newscast and found that, yes, they are indeed selling out. So these are obviously working.
They are.
And they're obviously being used, which is good.
Exactly,
But-
which is great because they're designed not to stick in the rind so much, and so they're less likely to get cut, as opposed to using something like this.
Yeah, that'll do it.
This is for the kitchen for adults. This is what kids should be doing if they're old enough and still they require adult supervision. Otherwise, we're seeing lots of lacerations from that. Now, if your kid does get cut, hold pressure 10 to 15 minutes. If the bleeding doesn't stop or it looks really deep, you need to have a physician look at it.
Yeah, don't
If it
risk
does stop, yeah, and if it does stop and it looks okay, make sure you put a clean dressing on it and just keep that thing real clean until it heals up.
Is it still true to hold a cut high?
You do. You want to hold it above your heart.
Above the heart.
Above the
Okay,
heart.
Very good.
Make the blood go uphill.
Right. Get it to stop. All right, so now let's talk about some of those other things that you do see
bet.
in the ER.
Absolutely.
Beyond the carving.
So one of the other things we see is kids having extremity injuries, usually from falling down. It's not so much that they're hit by a car, but usually from falling down. So make sure if they have a mask, it fits correctly so they can see where they're going. You want to make sure that their costume isn't too long and dragging.
Not
'cause
dragging,
you don't want
so
to
you stumble.
Right, you don't want to trip them up. Have them keep to the sidewalks. You know, don't let them go running through people's yards. The other thing is make sure that they are, that you can see them. So these little glow sticks, they work great. Attach them to the kids. Make sure the adult has a flashlight. You know, drivers got to be very careful this time of year with these little ones running around. They're not always going to use crosswalks. They're going to dart out. And think about the time of day. It's dusk, so a lot of glare, and then it's night, and things aren't always well lit. Again, another reason to have your flashlights, your little glow sticks, reflective tape. Drive slow through those areas because kids are going to be out running around.
Right. It may not necessarily go with the costume, but grab the flashlight before you head out.
Exactly.
It makes great
Exactly.
sense. Doctor, thank you so much
My
for stopping
pleasure.
by. Happy trick-or-treating. I hope you have a quiet holiday. Definitely good advice. If you want to see more from HCA Midwest Health, you can go to kctv5.com/HCA Midwest.